A people without a leader. We're going to go real deep into this situation, my brothers and sisters. This is some deep stuff. When I say a people without a leader, let me first go back to when black people had a leader. Back in time, we had prominent leaders. See, a leader is not someone that claims to be a leader. Because today, you got a lot of brothers that claim to be leaders. But they're not really leaders. See, when I say a leader, I'm talking about someone that all the people relate to, that all the people loved, all of Black America. See, when Martin Luther King was the leader, everybody loved him. Everybody, even the white people. Everybody loved him. See, that is what I call a leader. That is when black people actually had a leader. When they had Malcolm X, which also was a leader, it's because all black people loved him. Even the ones that followed Martin Luther King's message still had love for Malcolm because they still understood what he stood for. They might not follow that movement because some black people were following the non-violent approach. They still understood Malcolm. They still understood what he stood for. And he still had love amongst the masses. So that to me is what I call a leader. When all of the people love you and adore you. The leaders of today are leaders, but they're not that kind of a leader. And what I mean as a good example is the Honorable Brother Louis Farrakhan. I respect this man to the fullest. I respect his message and I respect his movement. But for some reason, he doesn't have the undying love of the masses, which leaves Black America without an actual leader. See, so now you know where I'm going with this. See, a people march to the drum of their leader. And this is the reason why you see a lot of black organizations and sectors going in 80 different directions because there is no actual leader. And what they did by assassinating Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they smite the leader. They say if you smite the leader, then the sheep will scatter. And that is what happened to Black America. They attacked the head. They knew that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were true leaders. They knew they knew that they was adored by the full population. And Louis Farrakhan just don't have that. A lot of black people sway away from him. A lot of black people, they don't really relate to him like they related to Malcolm. And this is just true facts. So black people, we don't really have an actual leader. And this was the actual plan of the government was to make these people weak by destroying the head. The leader is the head, the people is the tail. So they attack the head. That way, the tail has no guidance because the head is the guidance to the tail. So now you have a tail, but you don't have a head. So black people, when you see yourself not knowing which way to go, and when you see us sitting here wondering what we're going to do next, it's because we have no head. We like a tail that's flopping around and we don't know where to go because we don't have no head to tell us which direction we should go in. So what I'm saying, black people, we have to find a leader. We have to find someone that we all adore. We have to find someone that we all trust. And this is what Black America is looking for. If you want to know what we are looking for, we're looking for that one leader. Why you think a lot of black people put a lot of hope in Obama? Because the tail is looking for a head. The tail is looking for a head. Because the tail has realized that it needs a head. It needs a leader. And the government in America is going to do all they can do to make sure that we don't find that head to attach back to that body. And this is the reason every time we actually find an actual leader that we think that could be the head, the government attacks him. Look how they doing Obama. Why do you think they're attacking him so hard? Because they understand that this could be the missing head. Because they know when they killed Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they knew they killed the head. And they know that we're looking for another one. And after all these years, the closest that came to that, the closest person that came to meet that quota was President Obama. That is the reason why black people flocked to him like they did, because the tail was looking for a head. And the tail said, maybe this is the head that we've been looking for. So they're trying to destroy that head before the tail can attach it. So that's the state of Black America. If you wonder why Black America is going in 60 directions and everybody is following Brother Shabazz and Brother Shabuki and Brother Shah whatever, and you see all these people going in these different sects and different directions, is because the tail is looking for a head. That's why we're confused, because we don't know which way to go. Because when they killed Malcolm X and they killed Martin Luther King, they killed the head, and now the sheep are running in different directions. And that's the effect that you're seeing right now in Black America. And what we have to do, we have to find a head, a person that we can trust in, and we all have to gather ourselves back to that one head for us to be successful again. We're never going to be successful by going in 80 directions. We all have to come back as one accord again. Find that one head, that one organization or leader, get behind him and push. That's the only way to do it. But in the midst of this, you know that America and the government is going to try to stop this head from forming. And that is the fight that we have every day as black people in Black America. We have a person that's trying to destroy every head we try to attach to. But that is what I mean by a people without a leader. But when we find that head, and we will find it, and when we find that one leader we can trust in, and when we do attach that head back to that body and get all our people to form around that, and everybody agree and everybody come back to that head, we will be unstoppable. Do I believe it will happen? Yes, it will. Who it's going to be, I don't know. But one day the tail will find the head. And when the tail finds the head, America, you better watch out. You better watch out. Peace, love to all my people. One.